So now the question becomes, did I hook everything up correctly? Did I do this right? I think I did. It's one thing setting it up for Lowell Green. I've been doing that for a long, long time. It's a slightly different configuration, just for yours truly to do this. Hi, welcome to what I am dubbing as Caller 9. Look, here's the thing. I've been doing radio since I was 13 years old. I won't do the math on that. All right, 40 freaking years. Yeah, 40 years. And I've often said, listen, it's all about the music, and I've been pretty much a radio DJ all my life. But the world has changed. And as much as I love the music that we do on BTR, and I do, what I've come to realize lately, in a world of Spotify and Amazon Music and YouTube and iTunes and I mean, you can get your music from everywhere. And look, I know a lot of you do it, you get your music on BTR, and I love what we do when it comes to the music. But what's really lacking is conversation. And so, as I've been sort of, taking a step back from my daily live show, I've been really racking my brain trying to figure out, okay, so how do we get back engaged in conversation? Good morning, Chrissy. Thank you. She says I'm looking sharp. Freaking giant tiger to the rescue, Chrissy. And you know what? I think I can get this desk up here. So I've reconfigured the studio even too, by the way. There you go. Fancy. There you go. That's when you're my age, that's how you get it up these days. Quick little push of the button. So yeah, I want this to be a conversation every single day. And it's called Caller 9 because what I really want to do is I want to engage in a conversation with you. I've got a bunch of topics that we can banty about. And look, I don't intend to go on for hours and hours and hours of this. 30 minutes, maybe an hour if the conversation's good. There's no time limit on it. But I want to throw it over to you. What's bugging you? What's exciting you? Do you have a new business you want to promote? Listen, I don't have a sales staff. The door's open. You want to come on here and use my social media, et cetera, and talk about your business? I'm cool with that. I'm not going to send salespeople chasing after you, et cetera. Maybe you've written a book. Maybe you've got a charity fundraiser. Maybe there's something that you've read or seen and it's bothering you and you want to get it off your chest. Maybe it's mental health. Maybe it's sex. I don't know, and I don't care. But I really believe that I can have a conversation with anyone about anything. And here's the other thing. The Blast the Radio Forum is fantastic, and we've had a lot of success with it. But the reality with copyrights as it pertains to music is all I can do is beg, essentially, on social media. Hey, come listen to me on BTR. It's the same beg that every other radio broadcaster has got out there. Please listen to me. I'm on from this time. Listen to me. Great. My opportunity, as I see it, is with my social media. I got a few followers between the Blast the Radio page, my page, Instagram, Twitch, etc. So I got to take the music out of the equation and try something different. And so that's what I'm doing right now. Good morning, Craig. New for him. So Craig, thank you. He's running for town council at Calabogie. Craig, I am such a fan of anybody who's willing to step up and put their name on the ballot. I know you're doing that. I'm very proud of you for that. Joseph Benami, who does the Nick and Joe show with us Wednesday night, he is running for city council here. When Joseph's been off, Chris Fraser's been filling in. Chris is running in Orleans, Ward 2 as well. I really thought about it. I really did. It is such a noble thing to do, and I want to be part of making a difference in my community, not just the Ottawa community, the Ontario community, the Canadian community, the radio community, any community I'm involved in, the mental health community. I want to be part of making a difference. And I really gave it serious consideration. And if I'm being honest, I didn't go for it because politics is one of those things that, as well-intentioned as I believe most people are who get into it, there's a lot of, no matter how good you are at that job, Greg, there is always going to be a good chunk of people who just can't stand you and disagree with your decisions and yell and scream and make a lot of noise. And as much work as I've done on my mental health, I don't do well with that. I don't do well. I'm much better now. I am much better now and look, there's in my business, there's always a lot of haters. Hate me all you want. I don't care. In my little comfort zone here, when it comes to that, I know what I bring to the table here. I'm confident as can be in this realm. In the political ring, I'm not sure how I would do. So I didn't go for it at this time. And good morning, Linda. My sister's here. Oh, great. Great. My sister's here. Now the ratings skyrocket. Through the roof we go. Yeah, Craig, I'm just not ready. And it's so disappointing too when, you flip through some of the news that's out there today, and there are a good number of counselors, not just in Ottawa, but across this province, who have just been acclaimed. They've automatically been handed a 6-figure job because nobody's taking them on. I mean, and Lowell and Linda says she's usually caller 9. Yeah, but there's no big screen TV up for grabs here today, Linda. That's the thing. Listen, I want to talk to you guys. And thank you, Linda, for bringing me back to what this is. The number's on the screen, 613-604-6464. If you're in the USA and you want to talk about whatever's going on, I know primaries are on in Florida right now. You can call 941-725-MILK. And there's also an opportunity for you to join us via live video. You'd be on camera. I'll just put it out there. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable with that. You'll be on camera, and 1 or 2 people might see you on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, etc. But if you want to have a conversation about anything that's bugging you or exciting you or whatever, or just, hang out and shoot the shit for fun, feel free. The camera link is at blasttheradio.com. Right up top, you'll see a picture of a webcam. Click on that. It'll invite you right into the waiting room here. And I've just posted the link in chat as well for Twitch and Facebook as well. Craig says, if I'm voted in, it sure doesn't pay me 6 figures. No, not in Calabogie, probably, Craig. But you know what? I believe in the city of Ottawa, most of them are making darn close to that. So, but I mean, to run for council and to not have anybody oppose you, Lowell has talked about this, and I believe he's absolutely right. The city level of politics, that is what matters and affects most of us day to day. The LRT bullshit, that's a local thing. Yes, it's co-funded by the province. Yes, it's co-funded by the feds, but it's managed on a local level. It is an OC Transpo thing. That is city level of government. The potholes in your road, that is the city level of government. The trees that came down in the storm on May 22nd that still have not been picked up in your neighborhood, that's the city level of things. The fire department, policing, Wellington Street being closed, as far as I can figure. And I still have yet to get an actual answer to the question, whose decision is it ultimately to close Wellington Street? Is that city? Is that federal? But you know what I'm saying? More things affect you. The future of Lansdowne Park. They want to demolish the north side stands and build the south side stands. The building of the new arena at LeBreton Flats and everything else that's going to go along with that. Most of that is city oriented. And you got councillors who have just been handed the job after the nightmare that has been the LRT. You're just willing to hand somebody that job? What is it going to take to find the Craig Armstrongs of the world who are willing to at least put their name on a ballot and share some of their ideas and at least get the conversation? And what scares the hell out of me is if we're only getting like a 40% voter turnout provincially, and I didn't want this to get into politics, but it's caller 9. We'll talk about whatever. But if we get such a low voter turnout at the provincial level, especially after a pandemic where the health decisions are made at the provincial level, then what are we in for come, October when we go and vote municipally? I don't know. Chrissy's saying, did I not read this morning that someone was trapped in an elevator in an LRT station? Yeah, and that's on my list of potential topics, Chrissy, to talk about today. Lowell brought it up on his show yesterday, and Lowell admitted he would be absolutely petrified and terrified if he was stuck in an elevator. It got me thinking, how would I react? How would you react if that was you stuck in an elevator? I don't do well in confined spaces for the most part. I don't. I'd like to think, though, that I wouldn't have full onset panic, and apparently this woman did. Um, I think, it's one thing if the elevator is falling. No, that's that's not going to be a happy ending. But if the elevator is, like, just stuck and the cables are still attached and whatever else, I think I would at least have the confidence that, okay, I've been on the phone to 911. I know people are coming for me. I have absolute faith in our emergency services people. They know this job inside out, upside down, and backwards. And you put the Chicago fire episodes and things like that out of your mind, and I'd like to think that I would be okay in that situation. But yeah, that had to be scary. That had to be scary. And look, elevators break down all the time. Not to the point, I think, where the fire department has to rappel down and save somebody and pull them through the trap door up top, etc. But I think elevator rescues happen in buildings more often. So I'm willing to give OC Transpo a little bit of leeway when it comes to that. I'm much more concerned about all the problems that happen to the train itself. The whole design of this thing just seems so. Why did we go with this train? It's untested. Like, we're the only people who have this train system. It's too new. And who are the people responsible for putting switches in that can't handle our cold? Oh, there's ice on the switches. They're not working. Huh? Whose decision was it to not put heaters on or even heat the shelters themselves? No AC is one thing, but no heaters in rail stations? But, let's go in and mop the floors in the dead of winter with water, which freezes and becomes a skating rink. Maybe that's it, guys. Maybe that's it. It's the new tourist destination. You can skate on the canal. You can skate at our LRT stations. Come to Ottawa. Anyway, just some of the stuff I'm talking about today. 613-604-6464, whatever is on your mind. This is a show called Caller 9. So whatever is on your mind. I want to say thanks to some of our sponsors as well. Let me just get some other logos up there. No Forks Given started as a food truck in the south end of Ottawa, and they exploded. I mean, they just became this huge, phenomenal thing. They are now a full-fledged restaurant at 191 Somerset Street East. It's right on the campus of Ottawa U. I am there every Tuesday night along with 4 or 5 of the best stand-up comics. By the way, the same stand-up comics you're going to pay good money to see at other places. No Forks Given has them for you Tuesday nights, and there's no cover. Your admission is free. So hopefully we'll see you tonight, 8:15, for great burgers, great fries. They are licensed as well. Deep fried pop curds. Oh my God. Yes, it's deep fried cheese, basically. Right? NoForksGiven.ca. McCarthy Automotive, of course, 1150 Heron Road, longtime supporters of ours here on blasttheradio.com. But I invite you to this conversation. What do you want to talk about today? What's on your mind? What's pissing you off? What's exciting you? The Canadian Women's Open. All right. I got into a bit of a debate on Facebook recently with someone who was very upset, feeling that the women's tour was intentionally paid less than the men's tour, which I don't think is the case at all. In fact, and it is. I'll agree with you on this. It is sad that the money is not the same, because I think the women's tour right now is a lot more exciting to watch than the men's tour. And yes, Chris, you just said it. Go Brooke Henderson, especially with the local angle, right? With Brooke Henderson, who is in there what's going on with my TV? She's in there with every single match she's in. See, I thought, there we go. Let's put the logo up on the screen. The screen apparently times out behind me. She's just phenomenal, and she seems so down to earth too. So that's happening at the Ottawa Hunt Club golf course this week. Should be some fantastic golf. Look, the reason the ladies don't get paid the same as the men is there's just not enough money. And the reason there's not enough money is very simple. There's not enough of you watching. There's not enough of you supporting it. It's business. It's dollars and cents, and they watch the ratings. And believe me, if the audience numbers were the same for the LPGA as they were for the PGA, then, the prize money would be a lot more as well. So that's why. But it's happening in Ottawa, and it's been 2 years, I guess, since, thanks pandemic. It's been 2 years since the LPGA Canadian Open has been here in Ottawa. So very, very, very exciting and great for our economy as well. Absolutely. I just hope nobody gets stuck in an elevator because that's the press we don't need. So yeah. So there's the LPGA in town right now. Let me ask you this. My wife and I are having this conversation yesterday. Just a general question, and we're sort of scatterbrained. This is show number 1 for caller number 9, 613-604-6464, or click the camera link at blasttheradio.com, and you can join us via video chat. I'll put that link again in chat, whether you're watching on YouTube, on Twitch, or on Facebook. Give that a click, and you can appear via video and have a conversation so it's not completely one-sided. Who wants to listen to me ramble on about stuff for 30 minutes? Apparently you. So far, we're 15 minutes in. But my wife and I got into this. This is an interesting question. Do you remember your first slow dance? I remember my first kiss. I certainly remember my first time. My first slow dance. No. And I'm racking my brain, and I've been racking my brain for days now. We only have one elevator at the hunt. I'm not talking about elevators there. I'm talking about elevators in general in the city, Craig. Someone's in a hotel or something, and the elevator crashes. All right, back to your first slow dance. Did you ask her? Did she ask you? Did you ask him? Did he? What? Like, how did that happen? And what was the song? I remember a dance in like grade 7, grade 8. I don't think we were allowed to dance with each other, though. I think that's things they do in high school. But I certainly distinctly remember girls on one side of the gym, boys on the other side of the gym. And there was dancing. And the one girl I did have a crush on, and I better not say her name. She danced with one of the teachers. And I took a picture of it. And because it pissed me off. She's dancing with a teacher? Awful. But no, I don't remember my first slow dance. Do you remember your first slow dance? And who was it with? And what was the song? Things that just get a couple of drinks on the patio and you start getting into conversations like that. So yeah, no, I don't remember. Another power outage yesterday, downtown Ottawa. Like, what's going on? As we look, I'm all for the grade. Here we go. Jennifer says grade 6 school dance in the gym and Against All Odds by Phil Collins. Wow, that's a good song. See, my mind instantly goes to, it would have been Stairway to Heaven, Open Arms, or Babe. Against All Odds, Phil Collins. Jennifer, I also think you're a little younger than I am, obviously. If that was the song you were dancing to. So yeah, another power outage downtown Ottawa. So we keep talking about these electric cars and electric trains and this whole move to greener energy, et cetera, which, look, if there's a better way to do things, I'm all for it. I don't want people to get confused. Lowell's got his ideas, obviously, and I'm part of the Lowell show, so I get lumped into that, and I get that. Look, I'm intrigued by the whole electric thing. I really am, especially because I'm a gadget freak. I love new things. I love new tech. I just don't think we're there yet. And, to me, it just seems like a little while ago, we were all being told, oh, we're running out of power. We need to do what we can to reduce energy use. Only run your dishwasher after 6 p.m. Only do your laundry after midnight. Change all of your light bulbs out because the incandescent bulbs are sucking the power grid dry. We're in trouble. Help, 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 help. And we've done all of these things. But now all of a sudden, we've all got to have electric cars. We've all got to move to electric heat. And have you seen this? Okay. Anybody who's engaged in politics in the city, has this actually passed, or is this just a proposal with the outgoing council? $60 billion in the city of Ottawa. We're not talking provincial. We're not talking federal. Just the city of Ottawa. $60 billion. So that we can put up wind turbines. Tara, if you're watching, you'll notice I didn't call them windmills. Tara is of Dutch heritage and gets very upset when they're called windmills. They're not windmills. They're wind turbines. And she's right. They are. $60 billion for wind turbines and solar farms to be built within the city of Ottawa by the city of Ottawa. So by my math, and I will grant you my math sucks and blows at the same time, but in a city of 1 million people, that equates to $600 per person if they come in on budget. And we all know they're not going to come in on budget. How do you feel about this? Outgoing counsel, and this has been hush-hush. I haven't seen it anywhere. I mentioned it to my dad on our family Zoom call in a week, and he's like, where did you see this? I'm like, it's in my inbox all the time. Outgoing counsel, they're at the very least, they have proposed this and are looking to pass it before we go to the polls. $60 billion. And yet we had a power outage in downtown Ottawa just yesterday. I don't think we're ready to just look. Electric cars, again, I think they're cool, but is that not up to the marketplace? Is that not up to you and me and to entrepreneurs to sort of put it out there and let people adopt? If it's better, people will buy it. Pretty plain and simple. And look, I don't really think that and I drive a Dodge Ram, full disclosure. I don't think I'm doing that. I mean, I'm driving less than 10,000 kilometers a year, which certainly helps, reduce my carbon footprint. But my recent drive to and from New Brunswick, I didn't have to fill that. It's a 90 liter tank. I had to fill it up before I left Ottawa, and I had to fill it up once when I got to New Brunswick. That was it. That's pretty green as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, not getting much feedback on that. Look, it's caller 9. It's day 1. I thought, let's open it up to a conversation. I'm not going to run away from this. I needed to get back live in some capacity on my station, on my show, on Twitch, on Facebook, etc. And I want to watch this thing grow. I certainly don't come in here on day 1 thinking, yep, it's going to be wall-to-wall phone calls and videos and whatever else. It's not going to be that. But just know, every single day I want to have a conversation with you about whatever's on your mind. No school buses in Ottawa for more than 2,400 students this year. They can't find drivers. Why? Why are so many places finding it so hard to hire people? Is it COVID related? Are people just not wanting to be amongst other people? Are you going out at all? Restaurants, comedy clubs, movie theaters? Why can we not find bus drivers? Why can we not find restaurant workers? In the radio industry, I get notes all the time from hiring managers saying, we've had a job posting on your website for 2 weeks. Nobody's applying. And we get into these conversations about why. And it comes down to, well, for the employees, what they're saying is, I can't afford to move there. First off, I can't afford the move. Secondly, I can't afford the rent there. The salary's not high enough. And then you've got employers saying, well, I get that, but we've only got so much money. Now, some more than others, I'll grant you. But it's not just my industry. It's not just the radio industry. It's everywhere. We can't find bus drivers. I think being a bus driver would be fun. I do. I think it would also be freaking annoying. I get that, especially with the kids. But, that's a fun little couple hours out of your day gig. 2,400. And listen, kids walking to and from school, depending on the distance they have to go, I think there's a lot of kids who are taking buses these days who, in my day would have been walking. Where I grew up in Arlington Woods, we were right near Knoxdale and Green Bank Public School. And we were just like a couple of 100 yards shy of, well, if you lived a couple of 100 yards further away, you'd be getting to take the bus, but I had to walk every single day. Oh, poor me. Poor me. I survived. You know what? I don't know if you can see me on camera right now. You know what I could really stand more of? Walking. But why can't we find people to do things like drive a bus? Thoughts on that? Anyway, Chris says, nope, we'll never buy an electric car and get left stranded and a big tow bill. Well, Chris, we get into the conversation a lot with folks, and so my brother is in Oshawa. He bought an electric car. And look, I think, for tooting around the city, that's awesome. Not spending gas. He charged up for $20. In fact, what he does a lot is he'll go to the local mall because they've got charge stations for free. It's an incentive, right? It's an incentive. Park here, charge your car, shop in our stores. So he does it. He takes advantage. But then I think of my trip, like I just said, to and from New Brunswick. And I don't want to sit at a charging station for 45 minutes. And my parents are like, well, no, you take the 45 minutes or an hour and you go and you do a little walking around and you do a little shopping and No, I don't want to do that. I want to get to my destination. I want to get to the cottage. I want to get my ass in the mud flats of New Brunswick and my toes in the damn ocean. Furthermore, I'm traveling with a Bernese mountain dog. I can't just leave her sitting in the truck while I'm charging, or whatever else and walking around a mall. What do I need to go walking around a mall for? Yeah. I don't worry much about the breakdowns, Chris. I worry. It's just that time, that it's already a 12-hour drive. Now I got to anticipate stopping 3 times for an hour so I can charge up my vehicle. Now it's a 15-hour trip. I mean, there's a big difference between 11 and a half, 12 hours and 15 or 16 hours. That's a huge difference. Think of the snowbirds who drive to and from Florida or Myrtle Beach or, wherever. You're doing like 18, 20 hours of driving. Now it's 24 to 30 hours of driving. That's a game changer. So I don't think we're there yet. Elaine says they don't pay enough for people to drive school buses. Okay. Oh, and by the way, Julie says, I can't get a ramp built, so there's no manpower to build it. Julie, I believe you mean people power. Don't let Trudeau hear you talking like that. Or, the woke crowd. Where did the word woke come from anyway? Actually, I saw something on CNN. I believe it's in black culture that woke first came to be a thing, and we've kind of bastardized it. Shocking, right? That we would do that. Okay, so the comment, Elaine, they don't pay people enough to drive school buses. They don't pay people enough to work in restaurants. They don't pay people enough to work in radio. They're not paying people enough. So what are people doing instead? Better to make some money, isn't it, than nothing? And especially like a lot of school bus drivers are retirees. It's extra cash. Anyway, I invite you to the conversation, 613-604-6464. You can text me as well, or appear on Cam if you'd like to. The Cam link is right there at blasttheradio.com. There's a little picture of a webcam. Click on that, and we can bring you on. The difficulty is the split shift. Now, okay, that I can understand. That makes it a little difficult for people to manage their day. Okay, so I got to get up in the morning, get to the school bus yard, get the school bus, drive the kids. Then I got to go back, stop, go about my day for a little bit. But then I got to go back and do it all over again and be at the school for 3:00 or whatever to pick the kids up. Yeah, I get that. Could we not set it up though? I mean, if like you do the morning route or you do the afternoon route, or if you are one of those people who don't mind the split shift, you can do both. Is that even a conversation that they're having right now? Or does it have to be the same bus driver, both shifts, for some reason I'm not aware of? And look, I don't have kids, so I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but what's your feelings on that? With 2,400 kids in our city are going to have to walk to school. Now, on the surface, I can go, oh, poor babies. But you know what? If it's quite the distance, that's, I understand the concern. And depending on what, terrain they have to travel, it could be a safety thing. I absolutely get that, and I'm not trying to poo-poo it or anything of the sort. But I mean, I think there are probably a good chunk of kids who, live close enough they can walk to and from safely. Just my thoughts. Again, this is a show called Caller 9, where we invite you to the conversation to share your thoughts. All right, some of the comments rolling in on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, etc. So Chris says, exactly agree with you. I'll always support fossil fuels. I want to get to my destination. That is the end of his rant. Kevin says there are different drivers for different shifts on the same route. So there you go. So you can sign up and get a morning route or an afternoon route. Or potentially do both. Kevin, thank you for answering that. And we do have a phone call, 613-604-6464. Who is on the phone? You're my first caller on Caller 9.
It's Julie Stanfer.
Of course it's Julie. It had to be Julie. Julie, you are my first.
Yes, I had a call. I'm on a 10-minute break from training, so.
Julie has been a long-time listener to BTR and hangs out in our Twitch chat room quite often, which I don't know how you find the time to do it because I know you're very busy at work. Julie, holy crap, do you have a lot of meetings in your job? What the F?
And I'm on a 2-day training course right now, so I've got like 10 minutes.
Of course you are. Of course you are. It's a day off from meetings. Let's have training instead. What the hell? That's insane. Anyway, thank you for being my first. I'll be gentle with you, unless you don't want me to be.
Oh, whatever. Doesn't matter. But I had to call. I'm like, I can't miss this. This is awesome. So,
well, thank you. Well, I hope it takes off, and I hope it goes somewhere because it doesn't have to be talks about politics. Like I said, it can be absolutely anything. So what's on your mind?
Just that it's summer. It's the end of summer, and I find that there's been a little bit of culture shift on social media lately, which is kind of really nice. It hasn't been all gloom and doom. It's kind of been all Stranger Things and Sandman and happy vacationing pictures again, and it's kind of a
rainbows,
little bit of a fresh air.
Lollipops.
Right. There's
so what's behind that, do you think?
Maybe not talking about COVID too much and people just shutting off the media. I know my husband and we haven't watched the news in about a year. So I think that's a huge turn. And a lot of people are shutting off Facebook, shutting down social media, or filtering out the social media.
Do you think a lot of it too, though, is that during COVID, like I certainly, and I hate doing this, but it just got to a point with me, I deleted and blocked a lot of people, and I'm sure it pissed people off. It always does when you get deleted and blocked by someone. But listen, it's a self-preservation thing. At some point, you just got to go, you know what? I can't take any more of this in my feed. So do you think perhaps some of what you're seeing, that your Facebook seems lighter and happier is because you took that approach and just got rid of some of those people who just had to be so militant when it came to COVID? Or is it just that the world has shifted, like you said?
I think a little bit of both, a little bit of A and a little bit of B. I mean, you're still got your negative nannies on there, and there is problems. Like, don't even get me started about the healthcare right now.
I believe they're called Karens. Karen with a Q. Just so I don't piss off the actual Karens.
I can go on and on about healthcare, but I don't anymore because I can't anymore. It takes too much energy.
It does.
It takes too much drive out of me, and it's not worth my time, my energy, or my shift. So at the end of the day, you just kind of, nope, not worth my time, not worth my energy. Just, I need that breath of fresh air, and I'm enjoying seeing the family vacations, and I'm enjoying seeing the debate on Stranger Things. And
good point.
I'm enjoying that, and I'm enjoying the breath of fresh air a little bit, and that's just my thing. But yes, am I upset about the healthcare system? Absolutely.
Oh, God.
In particular, and I can go on for days, but I just don't engage in it anymore, and I don't. I'll get involved in the controversy on Stranger Things, and I'll get involved on the different how metalheads are cute now and stuff like that.
Metalheads are cute now? Wait, what?
You do not notice this. So the look of a metalhead is actually cute now, and this is a thing for the teenagers. And I'm like, right on,
because that's what the heavy metal
was
community is going for. Gosh, can I please be cute with my blood dripping out of my face, a la Alice Cooper?
right.
I'm so cute.
So I'm like, this is awesome. So I'm like, awesome. So I can pull out my Def Leppard t-shirts and my Pearl Jam t-shirts and my flannels and my Doc Martens, and I'm like, right on, because and I can round up all my metal friends and do a mosh pit again at over 40. It's not going to happen, but I'm just saying, this is awesome.
Hang on, my screen behind me has gone blank again. The hell. Friggin' thing. Anyway, I gotta let people know it's caller number 9, right? I went to the extent of figuring out how to do this thing, and now my screensaver kicks in. So anyway, that's fixed up. I love that you're saying this about metalheads, because I am Facebook friends with one of the guys that I was best friends with in college. He was a local. I went to college in Belleville, and he would drive me to and from work quite often, to and from school quite often. And Ed is a metalhead through and through. I mean, it was the cutoff, just exposing the fingertips gloves on his, on his steering wheel in his little Toyota that he painted black with barbecue paint because it looked badass. And it was always, the metal albums and stuff. And yesterday he posts that he picked up, what are these little figures that are all the rage these days? Oh God. Anyway, it's a little toy. It's a toy doll of Rob Talford, and it's cute. He's got his little leather on, and he's carrying a whip, and he's got his, his Judas Priest hat on, and it is, and I'm laughing my ass off at it, because it's like, oh my God, this guy who is such Funko. Thank you, Kevin. That's exactly what it is, Funko. Yeah, you're right. Metalheads are cute. Oh God.
Right.
Oh,
so
God.
It's like a trend. So Halloween, it's going to be like they're saying, metalheads, this is your time. Pull out your, you got Halloween covered this year, So I think that
dressed
is
up
just
as a
inspiring.
Metalhead. Oh my God, little Johnny, you're so cute dressed up as a metalhead. Oh.
I just think it's a breath of fresh air a little bit from what we've been through for the last 2 years. And I just think the culture changes a little bit. And I think if you embrace that a little bit and find your joy, it helps to ease what's happening in the world around us.
You're so right. By the way, I believe it was you that gave me this. Are you watching on camera right now, or are you listening on the BTR audio feed?
I'm on camera. I see you on camera.
All right. I believe it was you that gave me this.
Yes, probably.
No, Nap Team Captain is not the one you gave me. You gave me one. It's upstairs in my room.
It's okay. It's okay not to be okay.
Thank you. Yes, that's the one. All this to say, you just have this way of finding positivity in the middle of a shitstorm. I don't know how you do it, Julie, but your positivity is always so fantastic. By the way, you've got a great business. Can we talk about your business for just a moment?
Sure.
Tell the audience what your business is and what you're all about.
Well, I'm a co-director at Devotion Dance Company.
Devotion Dance Company. All right.
Yes. We offer dance for all ages, young to age 3 to adult, recreational to competitive for 3 to age. Competitive is 7 to adult. And recreational is 3 to adult. We accept everybody. So I currently run a low mobility dance class because I'm currently pretty much full-time in a wheelchair because I got really sick in the last year and a half. And I dance from a wheelchair, and I teach other people how to do it.
Awesome.
My mom's a third student, and it's one of our main courses, and we love to do it. And we put you guys on stage, and we do Zoom classes, and we do all different types of different, classes, and we run all year round.
So it's just a great way for people to get active and have a little bit of fun. And there's no, there's no, you don't take it, all that seriously. It strikes me you've always been kind of sort of, just there really for the fun at Devotion Dance, just for the sake of movement.
That's right. We just it's for movement. It's anyone. We're under the impression that anyone can dance. Anyone can.
Oh,
It's
challenge
for
accepted.
anyone.
No, I cannot.
Yes, you
And,
can.
no, and I can prove to you that I cannot.
We can teach anyone.
No,
and
you
it
cannot.
starts from. Yes, I can.
No, you cannot.
I can start. We can start you from a chair, and we can work you up into the bigger classes. It's for beginner to advanced. All our classes are. Our teachers are amazing. Our director is amazing. We are a family friendly, welcoming community, and like I said, we welcome everyone. It doesn't matter. So it's
amazing.
Just a loving community.
You know what? I got to start doing something. I really do. It's just I haven't even put myself on a scale in the last little while, and I don't need to. What I do know is that a few years back, I injured my lower back. My brother insisted, my much younger and much more in shape brother insisted that, you know what? We don't need to hire piano movers, John. We can pick the piano up and put it in the back of your truck. Well, we didn't get it out the damn door before I felt something snap in my back, which I went through the physio for and whatever else. But lately, just this sedentary lifestyle of COVID, and by virtue, this is why I'm so excited to have this standing desk now. I can actually walk around a little bit. It feels good to move. I feel my whole body is just, I feel like I'm encased in cement. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I love the idea of just a little dance class, just like a little recreational thing where there's no judgment. People of all shapes, sizes, ages, just dancing for the sake of moving their bodies. I think that's, because I keep thinking, because I've been through the trainer thing before. I've been through that several times, and I just, I'm that guy that, well, I'm going to the trainer, but gee, they're set up right across from Burger King. I'm gonna grab a quick little French fry before I go in. Like, it's just, I just don't have the discipline to do that. So I got to find something that's a little bit more fun, and that may be an idea. Anyway, I love that you think metal is cute. That's I think my favorite call I've had in a long, long time.
Well, there you go. And like I said, just everybody today, just find your win today or find your joy today. And we'll leave it on that because I got to get back to training.
I was just going to say, I'm amazed you're still on the phone with us. Julie, thank you. Our first caller ever, on caller number 9. Yay! Now go to work. Okay. There goes Julie, 613-604-6464. If you're listening in the USA, we can save you some international charges if those are even a thing anymore. But hey, I've got a very cool phone number in the States, so I'll flog it. 941-725-MILK. Or if you'd like to appear on video, we can certainly accommodate that as well. The video link is right there. You'll see the little webcam icon up top at blasttheradio.com. You can click on that. I'll put it there in our chat again. Anyway, I'm a little over the time that I thought I would go for this segment. But yeah, this is kind of what I want to do every day, is just have a conversation about something, anything, happy, sad, something that's pissing you off, something that's pleasing you. Let me see. Let's go back to some of the comments I didn't get a chance to get to. Elaine says, I drive my daughter because she goes to school in her father's school zone. For her dad, she would walk along Greenbank Road, and it's insane how fast people drive. Yeah. See, Elaine, that's interesting because I live Blossom Park, so Hunt Club-ish. And when I used to work downtown, okay, they're making bike lanes. They're making bike paths everywhere. And I need to get myself in some sort of shape. You know what? What would be involved in biking? And I quite like the idea, and I haven't looked lately. So feel free to, if you've got a better solution, let me know. But I looked online for any sort of GPS or map system that would show me how to get from my house to the Byward Market. And anything I could find, they were just these complicated, antiquated maps, and I couldn't make sense of them whatsoever. And anything that I did find would show me. So if you're familiar with Blossom Park, so Bank and Hunt Club, most people I think probably know that intersection. Well, I'm south and east of that a little bit, towards the Giant Tiger. So if I'm coming from that Giant Tiger Farm Boy Plaza, for example, well, there's no bike path, as far as I know, that I could stay on that would connect me to the bike path, for example, that goes down the Airport Parkway. So at some point, I have to be riding along traffic on Hunt Club and or Bank Street. No, thank you. No, I want nothing to do with that. Because you're right. People drive insane. I drive my wife to work. She works at one of the local plazas. It's literally right around the corner from our house. It's 3 minutes there and 3 minutes back. And just in those 3 minutes every day, like I could pop the memory card out of my dashboard cam and I could do a whole YouTube channel on just the bullshit that I see in those first 3 minutes of my day. There's a guy today pulling out of the parking lot of the Shoppers. His entire van logoed with the business he works for, whether he owns it or whatever. I don't know. And I'm not going to mention them. I don't want to be that person. But the massive, the Dodge Ram vans, and then they've got the extra, roof on top kind of thing. Massive truck logoed with his business, his website, his phone number, or the one he works for. And he's driving with his knee and typing on his phone. So yeah, I don't want my kids walking along Greenbank Road when people are doing that, or Bank Street when people are doing that. And why? By the way, why is texting and driving even a thing? And again, I'm a geek. I love technology. But we've had cell phones. My first cell phone, I bought my first cell phone in 1989. I'll say that again. I bought my first cell phone in 1989. Bought it at Multitech Warehouse Direct. Financed it. I had a plan with Cantel. And of course, back then, you're paying gobs of money. You think cell phones are expensive now? Holy shit. And of course, the only phone calls I would make, hey, guess where I'm calling you from? But all this to say, we've had since 1989 to figure out cell phones. Is Bluetooth really that complicated? It's also quite fun. Just, I have iPhones, so just, to have the conversations I have with Siri and the things that she messes up, those are hilarious. In fact, I used to drive around with a digital recorder in my truck and just record the conversations I would have with my assistant, my virtual assistant. Okay, you want to have some fun driving around Ottawa? Ask your GPS or your Siri or your, whatever it is you've got. Ask it to find Churchill Avenue. Churchill Avenue. Seems relatively straightforward, right? Winston Churchill, Prime Minister, world renowned. Have it find Churchill. I know how to find my way to Churchill. My doctor's office is on Churchill. I could probably do it with my eyes closed. But it is so fun to ask Siri to find it because she can't. And I record the conversations because they're hilarious. In fact, if you've been listening to me on BTR, you've probably heard me air some of them. I haven't done it in a while, but a couple of years back, I used to air them all the time. They were outrageously funny. Makes my wife crazy. You want me to just type it in for you? Or she'll fire it up on her phone. Here's where you're going. Like, no, I know where I'm going. That's not the issue. This is back and forth. The other thing, too. So Churchill is one thing because she wants to take me to some church on a hill somewhere in Texas. I swear to you. She wants to take me to some church on a hill somewhere in Texas every time. It doesn't get better than that, man. It is highly entertaining. And then you try to break it down. Okay, church, hill. Then you go, Churchill. I mean, you try every single possible sound combination you can make as it pertains to Churchill, and it can't. Gets even more fun when you're trying to find streets in, for example, Orleans. Ask your GPS, ask your cell phone to find Place d'Orleans. Right? I think these phones are getting smarter by the minute and they're catching on, but it wasn't that long ago that I asked it to find Place d'Orleans. It had no idea. So you start going Place d'Orleans and see, but recording the conversations was just a lot of fun. But anyway, yeah, I mean, here we are. It's 2022. Like I said, I've had a cell phone since 1989, and you can't figure out how to hook your phone up to your car stereo. I mean, most car stereos have this built in. By the way, somebody asked me the other day, they saw my truck, and my truck's got the Blast the Radio domain name on it, and below it says Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And they said, well, what is that? What is Apple CarPlay, Android Auto? And I said, okay. And I started to explain it. And what it is, if you've got an iPhone, some apps are compatible with CarPlay. All it does, it puts that app on the dashboard. Spotify, for example. Boop. It's CarPlay compatible. Text messages. CarPlay compatible. It's on your dashboard. You just boop it and you talk into your system and it records your voice and sends it to the person. Phone calls, etc. You hear it through your speakers. Much easier to hear, by the way. Hands. And by the way, let me just grab another cell phone here. Holding a cell phone in your hand. This is not hands-free. See, hand is on the phone. Your hand, no free. Your hand, no free. Your hand has to be free. Hands-free means no phone in hand. But people drive around thinking, okay, well, I'm hands-free now, blah, 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 blah. No, this is not complicated. And by the way, I would love to do a day somewhere where we just set people's cell phones up to their stereos and show them how it works. It's so simple. Plus, your phone's charging the whole way you're doing it. By the way, so that's Apple CarPlay. Android Auto is just the Google Android version of that. It just puts certain apps up on your dashboard, makes it ridiculously easy for you to communicate with the world. And for some reason, I don't know why, iPhone does not allow you to access Facebook Messenger. Android does. Pisses me off. Because I tried Android for a while. I tried. And here we go. I tried. This is like anybody that does photography, right? It's Canon versus Nikon. It's Ford versus GM. It's Apple versus Android. Early on, I adopted iPhone. It's just what I chose. And so it's what I'm used to. But to save a few bucks, I decided I'm going to go with an Android because I can pick one up cheap. And you know what? The Android system's pretty good. It's just the learning curve just became too much. But the one thing I do know that I loved about the Android phone is that Facebook Messenger was compatible on the dashboard with it. And for whatever reason, iPhone hasn't done that. Anyway, pisses me off. But yeah, why are we driving around talking on our phones in our hands and texting? It can all be done completely hands-free. Like I said, no hand. Look, Mom, no hands. Anyway, please stop driving around with your stupid phones in your hands. Enough is enough. It really is. It's like you might as well be driving around downing a bottle of whiskey. Like just don't do that anymore. Just don't. All right, some of the comments. By the way, this is caller 9. I intended to go for half an hour. I'm about an hour in. So with 19 people watching, world domination right there. 19 people. Hey, you got to start somewhere, right? Look, I'm not going to be too hard on myself about this. But what I do know is that I can't just keep doing the whole radio thing and just playing music and expect it to take off. I think radio's music days are coming to an end. I want to be part of whatever is going to be the next thing. So this is my first foray into it. And yes, I'm actively looking for someone to co-host who can bring ideas. I've got great people around me already, like Sue McGarvey and Chris Father Gilbrown, who contribute to the show. Susie, the diva of love, great, empowerment coaching. So that's all going to be part of what I do going forward. And BTR isn't going anywhere. We're still going to be a great music station because I believe we can do it better than most, especially since we're not having to adhere to CRTC policies, at least not yet. Anyway, so some of the comments we've got so far. Lillian says, what I dislike is calling a helpline and having to use your voice to get customer service. Whatever happened to a person answering? Well, Lillian, as we've discussed, people cost money. I was having a good laugh this morning listening to the morning host on one of the stations I'm on in the States. And he introed ZZ Top's Tush. But he said, going on a little shopping trip. ZZ Top's going on a little shopping trip looking for something. And I laughed and I thought, yeah, just my luck. I'd go shopping for some Tush and all I would find is a damn self-checkout, right? Because, I mean, this is, automation is everything and everywhere. And in my line of work, so the first business I ever launched, and it's still online today. It's called Milkman Unlimited. It is a website for the radio and TV industry. It's job postings for the radio and TV industry. And industry news as well. And so often I will get a press release from a company, and I get it, and listen, they're sending me press releases. That's awesome. I appreciate it. But what the press release, is often about is we have brought in a network show. We've brought in, a syndicated show. And listen, it's cool when I'm the person who's doing the syndicating, right? When I'm the person who's been chosen to do that. But what they're celebrating is we've replaced several humans with this automated thing. And the same thing with the phone attendant. We've replaced humans with an automated thing that we don't have to pay. It doesn't require benefits. It doesn't take time off. Every once in a while, it lets us down because the phone breaks or the phone lines are, offline or whatever. Same thing with these self-checkouts at the stores, right? Hey, it's one less human that we need to pay. People cost money, which is why I go back to the question when it comes to school bus drivers. Why are we having troubles finding people to do this job? Do people not need to work? With all of the automation around us, taking our jobs, here's a job. Nope. Doesn't make sense to me. And somebody had another comment to that too, and I didn't get a chance to get it on the screen even or read it. Let me go back to that. There we go. Linda says, if there's no CERB anymore, how are these people that aren't working? How are they living? That's my question. Yeah, exactly. No offense to anyone that isn't working, just a legit question. My husband said they can't find people either. So Linda's husband works in retail. Linda, I'm with you. This is the question. Born of this conversation. What are people doing for money? Jobs are going begging. And yet, everywhere you go, you see tons of people hanging around. Now, granted, it's summertime and a lot of folks are off on vacation, but by and large, is this the work from home crowd? Well, what are they doing? How many call center people are actually out there? Like, what are y'all doing for money is the question. Because CERB is done. Jobs are going begging. And people are standing around, hanging around. They're at the golf course. I mean, if you're at the golf course, I guess you must have a job somewhere because golf ain't cheap. But seriously, in your opinion, what are people doing for money? Why are there so many jobs? And it's not just here. Like I said, I'm on in the States. I do a radio show in the States, and everything there too. It's help wanted everywhere. Something bigger's happening. Is there a whole underground economy that I'm not aware of? And should I be part of it? You know what I would pay somebody who could figure out how I could just keep my logo on the freaking screen in my studio. All right, some of your comments. And I'll keep doing this as long as we're getting interactions. Chrissy says, hey, 20 Tim Hortons testing out flatbread pizzas in the Toronto area. Hope Chris checks this out. Cheese, chicken, Parmesan, pepperoni, sausage, and jalapeno. I say bring back McDonald's pizza too. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of companies experimenting with different things. Subway apparently has changed their whole model. Chris, by the way, is our resident foodie. Does all kinds of really cool reviews of food and food insights, etc. See, I haven't been to Tim Hortons in a long time. I don't know. It just disappointed way too often. It's going to take a lot to win me back. But McDonald's is a good example of, like they were McDonald's was so simple. It was cheeseburger, hamburger, quarter pounder with or without cheese, Big Mac, fries. Would you like an apple pie? Now McDonald's is it's complicated. They have and this is why I think McDonald's takes so long. It's not fast food anymore. It's convenient, but it's not fast. Because there's so many things on the menu. They got to make so many different things in this kitchen. It's certainly a different place than when I worked at it in high school. But as for the pizza, yes, bring back McDonald's pizza. I would love that. But every time I get into a pizza conversation with someone, Chrissy, I don't understand. And I believe there's like one place on Montreal Road, one pizza place, they actually have a drive-through window. Why do we not have drive-through pizza places? Yes, I know pizzas take time to make, but can we, like, is there not an opportunity for you to set up like a buy the slice kind of thing? I just want a slice of pepperoni. I just want a slice of all dressed. I just want a slice of barbecue chicken. Can that not be just like a drive-through? Or in a world of apps, if I want to order an entire pizza, can I not do that and then just pull up to the window and go, my order number is? Why are there no pizza drive-throughs? I think that'd be so awesome. Oh. Then I sort of kick myself going, well, why did you say that on the air, stupid? Now somebody's going to go and do it, and it was your idea. But seriously, pizza at the drive-thru. Somebody needs to make that happen. CERB is over, says Linda. Social assistance will make you get a job sooner or later. Unemployment doesn't last long. So this is just it. And she follows up to say, if there's something underground, get me a shovel. I'm heading there. And Linda's full-time employed and has had no problems getting jobs, as far as I can tell. Has been fairly successful in her line of work. Where are people working? Why are these jobs going begging? It's crazy. Elaine says she works in HR. No one wants to work in an office anymore. They want to telework. Huge sense of entitlement. See, that I think that's regardless of industry. Elaine, I think that is it. There is a sense of entitlement. Some of these jobs are just, they're so beneath me. Oh, really? I worked very difficult, or I worked through a very difficult number of things in my life to get my grade 11 education. I deserve to be CEO of this high-tech company. Or, I'm being facetious, but I think you're right. There's that job's beneath me. I don't want to, I don't want to invest time. I don't want to grow into it. I don't want to take orders from anybody. Is that a generational thing? I don't know. I certainly saw that happening, when I was it's been 6 years since I've been in an actual workplace, but I certainly saw a lot of that. People who are younger than me seem to have very different attitudes. Maybe my parents probably said the same thing. Your parents probably said the same thing. You don't know what real work is, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It's weird. Ed says drive-through pizza place on one side of the building with drive-through dispensary on the other. Yes! Yes, Ed! Yes! Now you're talking. And free bag of Doritos with every purchase. There you go. Elaine says we could talk for hours on the subject. Yes, we probably could. But I think it's an important conversation to have because, like, the businesses you love are suffering. Like, I mean, you got ERs closing now because the staffing shortages and the staff they've got are overworked. I mean, that's a whole other level of problem that we've got to, have a conversation about. But every single business is going through this. Like I said, in the radio industry, I'm hearing from hiring managers saying nobody's applying. Why? I mean, something's got to move somewhere or businesses need to adapt. And Elaine, you're exactly right. The whole telecommuting thing. I don't want to go to an office. I don't want to have to see people. Well, not every job can be like that. I mean, we're still in that kind of holding pattern right now too, right? We're not diving right into going back to work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. People are still very standoffish. So it begs the question, are you afraid to be going out in public, and doing things? Our staffing situation, she says, our staffing department is understaffed, leaving to go to departments that support full-time teleworking. So that's the desirable job. And yet, one of the other things that's on my list of things I want to talk about today, you go to places like the Red Blacks games. You don't even see masks anymore. So people can't really be that afraid of being around other people anymore. And Lowell brought this up on his show. Is it time for our public service to get back to the office? Is that affecting things like passports? and the delivery of, because people, they're not in the office. They don't have that same inclination, that same incentive, or that same drive to get things into the hand of ultimately the customer or the taxpayer. I mean, if we're okay going to concerts, if we're okay going to Sens games, if we're okay going to Red Blacks games, why are we not going to the office? It's a valid question. And if you're working from home, I'd love to hear from you. Would you go back to the office right now? Would you be comfortable? I always love the interaction with going into a workplace, says Chrissy. Working at home was okay, but it's the social interaction and just getting out of the house. Chrissy, and that's exactly it. And this is kind of the epiphany that I had, if you will. I can sit here in my little room and play music and be a bobblehead on, on your screen, whatever else, dancing around to the music. I miss the interaction. I've been working from home for 6 years. I miss the back and forth. I miss the dialogue. I'm a better broadcaster when I hear from you, which is why I want to do this every single day. So, and I'm going to do this every single day, Tuesday to Friday. I'm going to try it anyway and see where it goes, see how it grows, get me back. Look, I got to harness the social media platforms that are, it's the obvious way to go. Speaking of the Red Blacks, and I'll end it here if I don't get any reaction to it, but have you been to a Red Blacks game this year? Something's, and I'm not talking about the team on the field. That's a whole other conversation. It's not a good football product right now. Whether it's the coach, but the game day experience. Let me back it up a second. I love football. I have been a supporter of the Ottawa football team since I was a kid. I've been going to games since Tony Gabriel, since Condridge Holloway, since Jerry Organ. I worked for the Rough Riders as their mascot for a couple of seasons. It was a dream come true to be around that. I live and breathe it. I love it. Football was here long before hockey. I was a Renegade season ticket holder. I put up with the Gleibermans and the Horn Chens of the world. I sat through a lot of really bad football. And I sat through the early days of the Red Blacks. And it was exciting. And we had the new South Stands. And yeah, we had Henry Burris. And yeah, the football was better. But you know what else? Everything seemed better. The sound was better. The cheer team was better. The halftime entertainment. There was halftime entertainment. Apparently, and I stepped out to go and get a drink and meet with a friend at halftime. But apparently, at the last game, they actually had dogs catching frisbees. That's kind of fun. That's kind of cool. But the game day experience, leading up to the game, somebody I shared something the Red Blacks had posted. It's Pride Week. And like any organization, they changed their logo and they added the pride colors, which of course, why do we need to include that in our logo? That people just fail to realize, of course, that it's just for a week. It's a celebration to have the pride colors in a logo. That's not our new logo. It's Pride Week, and we're reacting to that, but people lose their minds. But further to that, the Red Blacks announced, because it was Pride Week, and they had the pride flag out in the field, and I don't know if people noticed in the end zone, they had the pride flag flying as well, but they had announced that there would be a drag show before the football game. And the first commenter out of the gate is so obviously homophobic, it's sickening. Just all up in arms that why would we do this and expose kids? First off, you ever been to a drag show? Probably not. Obviously not. If that's your reaction to a drag show, the kids will be scarred because of a drag show at a football game. It's guys dressed up in character. You know who used to do that, by the way? Shakespeare. Yeah. Back in the day, in the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, That's what they did. They wouldn't put women on stage. Men dressed up as women to perform Shakespeare. FYI, there are women at the football games dressed up as referees now. Oh my God, you wouldn't want to expose the kids to that. But anyway, all this to say, so the Red Blacks decided that, as part of their entertainment package, they were going to have drag queens, which is just fun. There's no sex or sexuality about it. It's guys dressed up as women, lip syncing to songs. Okay. Granted, sometimes those songs are of a sexual nature, but I think any drag queen worth their salt is going to recognize or be told this is a family-friendly event. You can't perform that. It's harmless. It's dress up. It's Halloween. It's cosplay. It's Comic-Con. That's all it is. To a different level and for a different reason. And yes, most often it's performed by men who happen to be gay. Not exclusively, by the way. Hi, straight guy, married a lot of years. I've done drag. Why? Because it's fun to be a character. That's why. It's no different than Comic-Con or Halloween or whatever else. But that aside, I went looking for this. At the game, I went looking for it. Couldn't find it. So, I mean, where is this? You're advertising, and by the way, it got like 4 reactions on Facebook. That's the other problem they have right now, and this is why I'm bringing it up. There's something really wrong with the Red Blacks when whatever they're posting on social media is getting 1 or 2 reactions. I post a fart joke or whatever joke of the day, I get more reactions than a Canadian Football League professional sports team does. Something isn't adding up, and I want to get your feedback on what is happening in Red Blacks football land besides the brand of football. Because going to a game, sitting in that stadium outdoors on a nice day, that's awesome. It's always been awesome. It will always be awesome. I don't care if the football sucks. I mean, I'd prefer it don't, but that's secondary. But oh my God. Not since the new South Side stands have been built have I heard any North Side sucks, South Side sucks. Where did that go? Where did it go? Since the Red Blacks have taken the field, anytime a player is injured, they play Green Onions by Booker T and the MGs. It's the only song they have ever played whenever a player gets hurt. Dun, 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 dun. And I've mocked it here before. I don't understand it. It's lame. Chrissy asks, where did the mascot go? Chrissy, at the last game, I finally got, Joe showed up. There was about a minute left in the 4th quarter. It was the first time that I saw the mascot at that game. The music is brutal. It's distorted, or it's too quiet, or one or the other. They don't even show like half the replays on the screen. The screen is a whole other conversation, by the way. It's shoved in a corner. If you're in the South stands, I'm sure that screen's great. If you're in the North stands, you can't see the big screen. It's shoved off in a corner. You got to crook your neck and see past. Okay, like Linda asked me if I could buy her some 50-50 tickets if I was going to the game. Happy to. No problem. Do you know how hard I had to work to find someone selling 50-50 tickets? Now, apparently, I'm told, when you walk in, so I'm a North Sider, so right when you walk in from the Bank Street side, apparently there's a little booth off to your left. That's your 50-50 booth. Wait, what? There's a little booth? Where are the people in the stands? Where are they? I have been to every game save for one this season. I have not seen anybody in the stands selling 50-50 tickets. Why? Is that a staffing thing? Are they not able to find volunteers? I mean, as far as I know, the 50-50 ticket, 50% goes to the team, I believe, and the other 50% is donated the team for charity purposes, and the other 50% is donated to like National Capital Amateur Football. Where are the parents of the kids who are playing amateur football? Are they not the ones who are supposed to be doing the 50-50 sales? Linda says, I didn't know I was sending you on a mission. No, but Linda, I'm glad you did, because I'm really struggling right now as a fan of football in Ottawa. I'm really struggling to determine whether or not I want to continue going to games. And it has nothing to do with the on-field product. If it was just based on that, I would have been out ages ago. But the game day experience, it's awful. It's awful. There's a couple of things here and there, and maybe I'm just not walking around the stadium and seeing it all, but okay. And Chrissy's saying $12.50 for a can of Stella. Look, that's sports. Any sports stadium jacks the prices on that stuff. That's just how it goes. That doesn't surprise me, nor does it really anger me. It is what it is. It's even more at the National Hockey League level, blah, 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 blah. That's just stadium food. And yeah, look, the other day I bought a hot dog at the football game. I'm never buying another one not because it was an $8 hot dog that was about the size of this pen. Can we talk wiener size for a moment? That was about the wiener size, and the bun wasn't much better, and it was soggy and yuck, and it was falling out of the wrapper it was in. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible, and it was $8. I'm just not buying. It's not that it was $8. I expected to pay $8 for a hot dog. I didn't expect it would be quite that small, but I expected I would pay $8 for a shitty hot dog, and I got exactly that, an $8 really shitty hot dog. But it was so shitty. Never again. And it's not that the Stella is $12.50. It's that the Stella is warm. It's warm. And it just depletes the game day experience. If I'm going to go to a football game on a hot day in July or August, can the beer at least be cold? Like if you watch Bar Rescue with John Taffer, beer is supposed to be at 32 degrees, 34 degrees. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Beer is supposed to be cold. And look, I know you can't you're cycling through a little fridge and whatever else, and you're limited to space, but my God, we got to do better than that at these games. It's awful. And if that's my first experience, I ain't going back. And it breaks my heart because I have fought to keep football going in this city. I believe in it. It is, when it all clicks, it's one of the best experiences you're going to have as a community. And it's a great stadium. Otherwise, the north side stands are what they are, whatever, and they're crumbling and they're leaking, and I get that. When we got to address that, it's the elephant in the room. To me, it should have all been done at once. If we're going to blow the thing up and just be done with it. But I get that this is Ottawa, and you can't just go balls to the wall like that because you've got so many people making so much noise about, oh, we can't have this, we can't have that. Oh, the noise in my backyard. Oh, my God. I mean, they complain now because the place is, TD has put their naming rights on the new South stands. Oh, the green glow from the sign. Oh, it's all I can see is the green glow from my sign. I mean, this is what people have to complain about in Ottawa, right? If we had our stuff together, what we would be doing is looking at LeBreton Flats and saying, okay, this is an opportunity. Okay, we built the Southside stands. What's done is done. But I'd be looking at LeBreton Flats right now, and I'd be saying, okay, Sens, Red Blacks, baseball, whoever it is that's supporting baseball or owning baseball in this stuff. If we're going to do this LeBreton Flats thing, should we not maybe make that as like an entertainment hub? Let's put all the stadiums right there. You ever fly into Philadelphia? Flying into Philadelphia is fascinating. And that alliteration, by the way, was not on purpose. Flying into Philadelphia is absolutely amazing. Out the window of your airplane, you see where the Eagles play baseball, where the Eagles play football. It's right next to the baseball stadium where the Phillies play, which is right next to the stadium where the Flyers play. And by the way, across the parking lot is the old arena that the Flyers used to play in. That's where their minor league team plays in. They all share a parking lot. They all share concessions. It's all right there. It makes sense. Why is nobody even talking about this? And like Hines says, Ottawa has no money to put into large projects. Light rail is killing us. Look, we got $60 billion apparently to put into wind turbines and solar farms. There's no planning. And Lowell got into this yesterday talking about the LRT. And I started to say something about what drives me crazy. The LRT seems sort of willy-nilly. Buses in the city seem sort of willy-nilly. There's no grid system going on here. And I know Ottawa is not set up as a grid, which is too bad because we have this very definite north end of the city, right? We have the Ottawa River. There's a whole other province, a whole other city on the other side of that river. We in the Ontario side, we have no say as to what happens over there. Now, frankly, we should. I wish Gatineau and Ottawa would just, admit we're one big freaking city. We are the Twin Cities. Like, it's right there. Gatineau, for a lot of folks, is closer than Orleans or Canada. But, it's over there. But I digress. Why did we not build the train right down the middle of the city first? Why is it all at one end of the city? It makes no sense to me. And I remember when they were talking about the LRT initially, and they said, we can't do monorail. We looked into monorail, and it just, with the snow and stuff, it didn't, and the size that, of the space that the monorail takes. And I remember thinking, you know what? Whenever I go to Vegas, there's a monorail that runs behind a good number of hotels. It connects, I can't remember what hotels. Tropicana, I believe Caesars is on the monorail route. What's the one where the White Tigers are? Anyway, all this to say, there's 4 or 5 hotels that are connected by a monorail. It's the same monorail system they could build here. It's no different just because it's in Vegas. A monorail is a monorail. It moves people. The height, the weight, the load that it carries, etc. I mean, the pillars that hold this thing up, I could put my arms around it. They're not huge. Could we not have built some sort of system that would go down the middle of the Queensway, for example? We've got the room. As they widen the Queensway, they've got the room to move things to the right. They add another lane. Could we not put them on? All we need is room for those poles down the middle of the Queensway, and then have buses feeding north-south. The whole LRT thing, just to me, and it's a big reason why I even considered putting my name on the ballot in the first place. It's just, but on the other hand, we're so deep into this thing now, you can't fix this. You can't fix it. I don't know what the answer is, but it can't be fixed. And the fact that they keep going with it just infuriates me. I mean, at least try and fix it before we move on with level, with stage 2 and stage 3. Fix what you've got first before we start trying to expand it into other parts of the city. It makes no sense. I'd love your thoughts. 613-604-6464. Video link is at blasttheradio.com. Hein is back in to say that LeBreton Flats has been vacant for 60 years. The ground was contaminated eons ago and was not properly cleaned up. Yes, we are aware of that. Light rail was ripped up in the 60s for a vision of buses. Andy Hayden has a plan. The city ignored it. You're absolutely right. And Lowell's been on that as well. And we talked about that yesterday. Ottawa used to have, I'm sure you've seen photos, all kinds of trains going right into the downtown core. The building that now houses the Senate, that used to be Ottawa's train station. That's what that was. And we had trains that ran along the canal to and from. And we ripped it all up. City planners somewhere just said, no, get the train tracks out of here. Let's put cars, let's put buses, and now, of course, we're all back to, we got to figure out a way to get trains into the downtown. Well, let's dig underneath Rideau Street. It's just, you know what I mean? But this is what I'm saying. It's all insane. So if there was vision, and maybe, I'm dreaming in Technicolor here, and it just can't be done because the city is the age that it's at, and it's not like we're starting from scratch. But my God, how nice would it be? Dare to dream that we had our football stadium, our hockey arena, and maybe a baseball stadium, if anybody still cares, right downtown. Things are so scattered for a city that, knows it's growing. That geographically, this is what people don't understand, I don't think, about Ottawa. The city of Ottawa, geographically, is larger than Toronto. The city of Ottawa, geographically, is larger than Montreal. It's larger than Calgary. Geographically, it is. Population-wise, it's not. We've got so much green space, etc. We're very, very, very spread out, which is why people say it takes so long to get from here to there. It takes so long, if you're going to go to a Sens game, it takes so long to get to Canada, and it does, and vice versa. It's not incredibly difficult. There's not as much congestion, which makes it a lot easier, but it's not so bad either. But yeah, anyway, interesting to see that, a couple of comments about the Red Blacks. Maybe just enough people haven't been to the game, and maybe that's by virtue of the fact that the game day experience, it just hasn't been very good. And I can't even put my finger on why. It just seems to be lacking life. It's not fun. It's not fun. And I wish I could say, here are the reasons why. The dance team is okay. Nothing over the top. The mascot is okay. I miss the north side, south side sucks. I miss the fans being able to do that kind of thing. It's music constantly, but it's the same music all the time. It's, and it's these halftime shows. And a friend of mine is all excited because their business gets to do a thing on the field in an upcoming game. Do you know that in order to be on the field and do that halftime presentation, you are required to buy your way onto the field? And you do that by selling tickets. Now you're a ticket seller for the football team. It's craziness. And little things like, and oh my God, correct me if I'm wrong. They had the punting for charity thing at the game. So if you kick it, past this sign, it's $100 to charity. Kick it past sign number 2, it's $500 to the charity. Kick it past the third sign, it's $1,000 to the charity. Am I wrong in saying this? But I believe the person who punted the ball, they got it to the $1,000 sign. So that's awesome. $1,000 for charity. I'm all for that. But were they actually given a Red Blacks hat and an Apple Watch? Did I hear that correctly? And the fact that I even have to ask, and I'm not even saying that to be, silly or funny. I didn't hear what they said. There was nothing on the screen to say, congratulations, Joe Blow. Apple Watch, Red Blacks hat. There's nothing. It was the PA announcer, and Mike Sutherland's a great guy with a great voice, but the PA system sure lets him down. I believe that person was actually given something, because I've long complained that it seems to me that the people that are participating in the contests, they don't win anything. And if they do, it's of very little value. Have you ever been at a football game and your row won Tim Hortons coffee in the Pass the Cup challenge? What was it, $5? Like the Casino du Lac Limi. There we go. So Chrissy just said it. Casino Dice sponsors Tim's cards. Where's T-shirt blaster or throwing footballs? Yeah, they used to do that. I don't care for football, and I certainly don't need another T-shirt. But you're exactly right. It's kind of like stuff, right? But like the Casino du Lac Limi, it's a casino. It's government funded. It is a multi, if not millions, billion-dollar business. And they do a little game where, and I noticed they used to chuck the dice out of the South Side stands. Everything, of course, happens in the South Side stands. The anthem is towards the South Side stands. The dancing is towards the South Side stands. All the games come out of the South Side stands. North Side, And even at the Grey Cup, the north side stand was ignored. I mean, I can tell, I don't mean to say this because it's going to sound dirty. I don't mean it to sound that way, but I got a lovely view of Shania Twain's behind at the Grey Cup game because that's all I saw. Are there not more people in the north stands than there are in the south side stands? I get it. The TV cameras and the broadcast booth is there, but a little thinking. Maybe we'll do one thing for the Northsiders. Maybe. Because I certainly pay a ton for that ticket. Not as much as a Sens game, but yeah, I mean, like, so they do this dice game. So they've been chucking these big inflatable dice out of the south side stands, and they roll onto the ground. Well, of course, a couple of games ago, a couple of people decided, to hell with that. I'm not chucking this towards the field. I'm going to start playing volleyball with other fans. And they did. And they waited and they waited and they waited for the dice to come back down onto the field. And when the dice do hit the field, it lands where? Behind the players' benches, of course. Nobody can see the damn things. You can't see it from the south side because it drops too far, in front of the stands. You can't see it from the north side because you're too far away and you got players in front. It was so ridiculous. They are at least now doing the rolling of the dice in the end zone for all to see. But the person walks away with $50 or $100 to go play with at Casino du Lac Lévis. Good for them, I guess. But do you mean to tell me that in front of, in order to get my brand name in front of 20,000 people, I believe the stadium holds 25-ish. In order to get my name in front of 24,000 people, 20,000 people, all I need to do is come up with a $200 prize? Holy crap, take my money. If I thought for a second I could do some sort of BTR promo that would introduce 20,000 people to my brand and it would only cost me $200, a heartbeat. Now, maybe that's part of a bigger, advertising strategy and marketing plan that they have together. I don't know. But to my way of thinking, I'm looking at that and I'm just like, really? $200. That's all it costs the casino for that kind of advertising. $200. Wow. Sign my business up for that. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I just find the game day experience at the Red Blacks games is sorely lacking. Some of your comments. There's Hein. Southside sucks. It does, Hein. You're right. Although it sucks a lot less than it used to. That is a gorgeous looking grandstand right now. And it's too bad there's absolutely no thought going into the new Northside stands whatsoever. It's just a grandstand and there's no roof on it. And it's all designed so that people who buy these big, expensive condos have this great view of the field. And maybe because we're going to have 4 or 5 condos along that side, maybe they'll actually, show us the front of Shania Twain or whomever is on the field going forward. I don't know. It just seems a lack of vision, lack of thought. It's not a good time. I want so badly for it to be a good time. Anyway, even at the concerts in Toronto, the Rogers Centre, the security guards took away 2 huge beach balls that were completely harmless during the intermission between the first 2 acts. Ridiculous. Yeah, that seems to be a thing at sporting events. So I can't lay blame at just the Red Blacks or their security team or whatever. But it seems to be, I think it's probably a liability issue. If somebody we've all been to Sens games, right, Linda, where there's Leafs fans who've had a few too many and some Sens fans as well. And I watched one guy at a Sens Leafs game after just berating Sens fans the entire game and being a complete dick. Go to, I don't know, do something, high five or whatever else to somebody a row in front of him. And he missed and he was face first, bumpity, 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 bump down every single seat in front of him for about 5 rows, black and blue, bleeding, just absolutely awful. I can see the liability issues if somebody goes to, hit a beach ball or something and they go ass over tea kettle down the stairs or falls over a balcony or something. That's probably what it is. The chances of it happening are slim to none, but boy, if it does, then we're all going, well, why do they allow that? Right. So that's probably what's at the root of that. I don't know. And there's probably enough people in the stands going, hey, this is interfering with my enjoyment of the game. I can't see the game. It's already annoying enough when you've got people, oh my God, people who want to stand and have conversations with, oh, Susie, I haven't seen you in so long. Huggy, kissy. And there they are in the football game, whatever else. And they're blocking everybody's view of the game. Like the Sens games, when action's on, security is like, you got to wait till there's a stop in play, which makes sense. Whistle, timeout, whatever else, fans can go back to their seats. And to a degree, they've been doing that at the football games. The security guys there can't even stop the people 3 rows in front of me from vaping at the games. Like they just don't care. Which, again, vaping, do your thing. But in public, you got to abide by public rules. There's no smoking. There's no vaping at all in that stadium. And if there's no vaping, just don't do it. But, they don't get in the way. Blah, 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 blah. Not my job. Blah, 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 blah. And of course, security guy doesn't want to do it. Well, who's around to take that job? Nobody wants to work, apparently. But it is. It's the game day experience at the Red Blacks. And I don't know what the answers are. I feel as a season ticket holder, I'm not sure I want to go back. I'm really not sure I want to go back. It's not fun anymore. Is it my age? I don't know. The only other thing I didn't get a chance to talk about, 2 things. Gas is going to drop 6 cents a liter. So if you're looking at filling up the tank today, get what you need instead. Go back tomorrow. It's supposed to drop 6 cents. And I was going to talk about, have you seen? All right, let's just dive into this because I got nothing but time. The Finnish prime minister. Just fire up the story. She's like, 32 years old, like the youngest, 36. She is Prime Minister Sanna Marin, 36 years old, the youngest political leader in the world. Beautiful woman. And has just been dealing with an absolute poop storm because she went to a friend's house and she partied. And someone took video of her partying. Now, the Ottawa Sun, or the Toronto Sun's got it, the Ottawa Sun's got it, it's everywhere. If you Google Finnish Prime Minister party, the video is bound to pop up. She's doing what any of us do at a house party. Singing songs, having a couple of drinks, being a little tipsy, getting huggy with friends. Nothing less, nothing more. It's exactly the kind of thing that if that was your weekend, you'd be posting it as a Facebook or Instagram story. Dancing, singing, kissing friends. It's not an orgy. It's not a sex party. It's just getting together with friends. Well, it got so out of control with, people losing their minds that this is unbecoming of a leader. That, the internet just blew up. And she went and took a drug test just to shut people up. She said, there were no drugs. I didn't take any drugs. And she volunteered. She said, just to shut you up, I will volunteer to take a drug test. Well, she did, and it came back negative. Are our leaders not allowed to be human? I don't care what your politics are. We can laugh, and we do, at Justin Trudeau taking a vacation here and a vacation there. Look, he's a millionaire. Millionaires take a lot of vacations. But do you really give a damn if he goes to someone's, like he's got friends just like you and I have friends? I'm sure Pierre Poilievre has friends. Jagmeet Singh has friends. Everyone has friends, and they go to a friend's house for a party. And there might be music and dancing and hugging. And yeah, typically, just because of the job, you tend to control, the message, and let's not have pictures taken and whatever else, because it gets so blown out of proportion. But why can we not let our leaders be human? I was quite taken by the fact that, she's 36. She's out having fun at a party. Good. It makes her human. It puts her more in touch. It makes her more relatable. What are your thoughts on that whole thing blowing up and the movement against her, that somehow she's doing something horribly wrong here? The nerve. She went to a party. Anyway, I liked it. And she looks like someone I would love to party with. And you look like someone I'd love to party with as well. And to that, I will end it here. Tonight is, of course, a Tuesday night. That means we do comedy. Not me. Actual professional comedians doing stand-up comedy at No Forks Given. It's a great burger restaurant. Chicken burgers are fantastic. Fries, kettle chips, poutine, pop curds. And yes, great stand-up comedy. And listen, there's absolutely no cover charge. If you'd like to join us tonight for some great stand-up comedy, I would love to hang with you. We can sit together. We can laugh together. We need more of that in the world. And I also invite your comments and your thoughts on this, which, except for Julie's phone call and your comments on Facebook, has been mostly a one-sided conversation. I grant you that. And that's okay for now. The idea is I want to engage you in a conversation. I want to hear from you every single day via the video link, via telephone. I want to talk about the things that are on your mind, and they can be anything at all. Again, mental health, sex and sexuality, relationships, your kids, the cost of living these days, politics if you want it to be, sports if you want it to be. If you're caller 9, I will talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Anyway, thanks for listening today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for trying something new out. I will return you to the music. Chris Father Gilbrown will be by shortly as well. Susie the Diva will be here as well with some life empowerment coaching for you. And of course, at 2:00, we will raise the temperature quite a bit. The legendary Lowell Green is here weekdays at 2 from the Island of Sanity. I'm the Milkman, John Milky. Thank you very much for being part of the conversation today. Let's do this again tomorrow, 9:30-ish on blasttheradio.com, on my Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Twitter.